Happy morning, children. Uh, Coming to the continuation of the Sultans of Delhi chapter. In the previous class, we discussed how the slave dynasty court ended up and how the Khilji dynasty, that is Jalaluddin Khilji, has ascended the throne, and as he was assassinated by his nephew Alauddin Khilji, and how the Alauddin Khilji conquered the region of the important cities of Chittor, Ujjaini, Chanderi, and Mandwa. And with the help of his general Malik Kafur, he also brought Yadavas of Devagiri under his control. And the whole of India came under his control of the Alauddin Khilji. But the successor of Alauddin Khilji were incompetent, and next the Ghiyazuddin Tughlaq defeated the last Khilji ruler Khusra Malik. Finally, the Tughlaq dynasty came into existence, and they ruled for the 100 years. And the prominent were Muhammad bin Tughlaq and the Firoz Shah Tughlaq. And Ghiyazuddin Tughlaq, how he was assassinated, or he got planned murder by his own son, that is Muhammad bin Tughlaq. And what was the taxation in Doab was implemented by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and how the farmers were not able to pay the taxes, and what was the reason of the shifting of capital from Delhi to Devagiri. All these things we saw. So in today's class, children, we are going to know about introduction of the token currency and the expansion of the schemes. How the empire got extended by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, how what are the trial and error he has made with that, and about analyzing about the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, or the evaluation about the Muhammad bin Tughlaq's ruling. All these things we are going to study in today's class. So children, now coming to know about further more about what and all have taken place, new things which was took place in Tughlaq dynasty was in 1329 CE. Muhammad bin Tughlaq came up with the introduction of the token currency, and the coins made of copper were introduced in the place of silver coins of the Delhi Sultanates, and these coins had the same value as the silver coins, and the Sultan asked to people to use them for all the purposes. So coins made of copper were introduced in place of silver coins by the Delhi Sultanates, and as the copper was cheap and many people started minting them, but the foreign merchants refused to accept the copper coins, and Sultan compensated for the fake coins from the royal treasury, because as the value of currency was made adjusted to the value of gold and silver coins in circulation of his time. He brought gold coin named dinar and silver coin named adli into circulation. The coins were aesthetically designed, but after a few years, the copper and the bronze coins were also brought into circulation. But the minting coins was not vested in the government, but the families who had traditional rights to mint the coins were also there. But the coins were minted more than the required number without the permission of the Sultan. This resulted in chaos. So the state treasury became empty due to the costly administrative experiments and severe drought and shifting of capital city and the process of relocating the capital. So all these things made them to um, decline in the royal treasury, we can say. So, children, coming to the expansion scheme. Here, the expansion scheme is nothing but an extension of expanding the empire. So, Muhammad bin Tughlaq was having a dream or wish to expand his control to Persia and Central Asia, part of Persia and the Central Asia. For this, he need a large army. For this, what he did, a large army was raised to the for a proposal of expedition to Kuranas. Expedition I said a long journey towards any region. Danda Yatre will ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ previous classಲ್ಲಿ, that is called expedition. So in order to conquer these Kuranas, the soldiers for this he spent many amount, like for the purpose of expansion of his empire, he spent more on the military reforms. For this he for the task of recruiting, training of the soldiers and supply of the armed forces, and even horses were purchased for the defense purpose. So the salary of the soldier was given on the last day of month in the form of cash. So the individual records of soldiers were created based on their physical features. So a system of record named as Hulia was brought into effect for this purpose, for the purpose of the expansion of his entire region, and he started conquering the other regions. For this he needs an army. For in order to get the soldiers, he need to spend money on them. So for this, he maintained a record named Hulia, and he was brought into effect for this purpose. And the process of stamping the horses called a dhak came into effect. So if any soldier had any grosses or the complete with the salary for the entertainment, he could have directly complained to the Sultan himself. So another for this he went on another expedition for also was sent to the conquer the Kangra region to extend the northern boundaries of the empire. But the expedition also ended in the disaster, and only a handful of soldiers could finally return alive. They couldn't achieve anything. So this was the idea of the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and as he spent the treasury on the he invested on the army was also not beneficial to him. Now coming to the evaluation of Muhammad bin Tughlaq or knowing much more about Muhammad bin Tughlaq, when we analyze about the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, his wish and his experiments and his thought about his expansion of his empire, extension of his empire, all his trials and errors, we could say that Muhammad bin Tughlaq had a largest empire ever held by a Sultan of Delhi. Other than Sultans of Delhi, the Muhammad bin Tughlaq had the largest empire. When we go through about the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and he lacked due to the practical knowledge of sense of he lacked with the practical sense. If we invest this many amount, what would be the benefit? He didn't analyze whatever the things or whatever the policies or the measures or the ideas he started implementing. It was not practically beneficial to him. So all his policies or the measures were false or were not helpful for him for the time being, and he failed with these experiments, and these lead to the decline of the prestige of the sultans, and slowly his treasuries and the wealth started reducing. This started weakening the foundation of the Delhi Sultanates, and again the Rajputs recovered their power due to the Muhammad bin Tughlaq's efforts, and many of the independent provinces were free from from the rule of the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, like Bengal and Sindh declared themselves independent. So the Sultan lost its control over the Deccan, and the two independent kingdoms that became powerful to the south of India. That is, one is Vijayanagar and the another one is Bahmani kingdom. By the time of Muhammadin Tughlaq death in 1351, the sultanates had started showing the evidence of the signs of decaying. That is, their the control of the Tughlaq dynasty over the empire was declined. Next comes the Firoz Shah Tughlaq.